This is why marriage can feel so lonely even if you love each other. You're lying next to your husband. He's 6 inches away. You can hear him breathing, and somehow you've never felt further apart. Not because you're fighting, not because you're talking about divorce, but because one day you woke up and realized you've become really good at running life together and really terrible at actually feeling connected. If you've ever looked at your partner and thought, I love you so much, but why do I feel so alone? This video is for you, because most couples think this feeling means they've fallen out of love, and it usually doesn't. Hi, I'm Margarita Kogan, a licensed couples therapist, and today we're talking about loneliness in long-term relationships. And the good news is, most couples are not nearly as far gone as they think they are. In fact, by the end of this video, you'll recognize which connection pattern your relationship has fallen into and what to do about it. After working with couples for over a decade, what I've learned is loneliness in marriage usually doesn't happen because someone stopped loving the other person. It happened because couples slowly stopped connecting. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 patterns we see most often in lonely marriages, how they happen, and what you can start doing differently. And before we jump in, I'm curious, have you ever looked at your relationship and thought, we're not fighting, so why do I feel so disconnected? Let me know in the comments below. So here's what surprises most people. Loneliness rarely starts with a major problem. It actually starts with the small moments, tiny moments, moments that don't seem important at the time. Gottman calls these bids for connection. And a bid can sound like, hey, can I tell you something? Look at this. How was your day? Or it could be a joke, a sigh, a random story, maybe a look from across the room. Small moments where one person is reaching for the other. And the couples who stay connected aren't necessarily doing grand romantic gestures. They're actually responding to these small moments consistently. The problem is that life gets loud. We're tired. We're distracted. We're thinking about work, the kids, dinner, tomorrow, and slowly we stop noticing these little bids. Our partner feels it, maybe not consciously, but they feel it. And after enough missed moments, both people stop reaching. And that's when loneliness begins. So the first pattern is the logistics loop. The relationship becomes a management meeting. The conversations are, who's picking up the kids? Did you pay that bill? What's for dinner? Who's taking the dog? You talk constantly, but almost none of it is actually about you. You know everything about each other's schedules, but very little about each other's inner world. Eventually, you become excellent co-managers at a household and strangers emotionally. Pattern 2 is the invisible wall. This is the couple that still talks, but not about what matters. When something hurts, it gets swallowed. When something feels important, it gets minimized. When emotions show up, they get pushed aside. Not because either person is bad, usually because both people are trying to avoid conflict. But every conversation that doesn't happen adds another brick to the wall, until one day, both people feel alone, standing right next to each other. And pattern 3, the parallel life problem. This one is incredibly common after children. You're both working hard, you're both exhausted, and nobody is doing anything wrong, but you're living side by side instead of together. You survive the week, you manage the responsibilities, and you collapse into bed. And months go by without feeling truly connected. The relationship isn't being damaged by conflict, it's being starved by neglect. As you're listening, you may already know which one sounds most familiar for you: the logistics loops, the invisible wall, or the parallel life. And that's actually why I created the Roommate Reset Quiz, because most couples don't need more relationship advice. They actually just need clarity about what's creating the distance. The quiz takes about 3 minutes and will show you exactly which pattern is affecting your relationship and where to focus first. You'll find it below. So I've worked with many couples that aren't fighting and there's no affairs. Nobody wants a divorce, but they describe a feeling of being lonely almost every day. When we start looking closely, the problem is not a lack of love. The problem is usually that you stop sharing yourself with your partner. Every conversation becomes logistics. Every day is about survival. You know exactly how to run your family, but forget how to be curious about each other. And once you start rebuilding those small moments of connection, something surprising happens. The loneliness starts lifting. Perhaps not overnight, but much faster than anybody expects. So before we finish, I want to leave you with one simple question. Tonight, ask your partner something new. What's something that's been on your mind today that you haven't told me? That's it. No fixing, no advice, and no defending. Just listen to their response. Because connection is rarely rebuilt through one grand conversation. It's rebuilt through hundreds of small moments where people feel seen. As you're watching this, I want you to hear something. The couples I worry about most aren't the couples who feel lonely. They're the couples who stop caring that they do feel lonely. The fact that you're here tells me something important. You still want reconnection, still want care, and you still believe that this relationship can feel different. And that's where change begins. Loneliness in marriages is not usually the end of the story. More often, it's the signal that something needs attention. And attention is where reconnection starts. If you're trying to rebuild a relationship that feels less like roommates and more like partners, click the link and subscribe below. Every week, I share practical tools, research-based strategies, and honest conversations that help couples reconnect before the distance becomes permanent. I'll see you in the next video, why good couples become roommates and how to stop it.